So I am going to now discuss the solutions for the assignment in center of mass and conservation of linear momentum. So in case you are not having any doubts in the first 10 or 12 questions in this assignment, you can skip this class and go to the next class directly. Come on, look at the question number 1. You are given the mass of 3 particles here and length of which are placed at 3 vertices of equilateral triangle. The length of each side of the equilateral triangle are denoted by small letter a, which is equal to 0.5 meter. The first mass are denoted by m1, which is equal to kg, which lies at the origin. So x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 0 for the first mass. The line joining the first two masses is taken as the x-axis. Second mass m2 is equal to 4 kg, which lies on x-axis. So second mass lies at a distance a from the origin. So x coordinate for second mass is equal to length of side of the equilateral triangle, that is 0.5 meter. Second mass lies on x-axis, so y coordinate for second mass is 0. Third mass m3 is equal to 6 kg, which lies on the xy plane here. That means the plane containing the 3 masses, I take it as xy plane here. So the x coordinate for third mass is equal to third mass lies on the perpendicular bisector of the line joining the first two masses, because it's an equilateral triangle. The 3 masses lie at the vertex of the equilateral triangle. Look at the way each equilateral triangle, each vertex lies on the perpendicular bisector of the line joining the other 2 vertices. So x coordinate for third mass is equal to half of the length of each side of the triangle. That is equal to 0.5 by 2 meter. Let h denote the height of the equilateral triangle. From the figure h by a, you can write sine 60 degrees. Angle at each vertex of the equilateral triangle is equal to 60 degrees. So y coordinate for third mass equal to height of the equilateral triangle. That is equal to a sine 60 degrees, a equal to 0.5 meter. And sine 60 degrees equal to √3 by 2. So for question number 1, which I have just now discussed, you get the first option as your answer, I think. You can complete the calculation. Better completed. Next, I am going to discuss the question number 2. 4 particles of masses 10, 20 and 40, 40 and 80 gram have their center of mass at 0, 0, 0. Where do we keep a particle of mass 100 gram? So the center of mass is of the particles at -1, -1, -1. So in the first case, the x coordinate center of mass system of the 3 particles of masses m1 equal to 10 grams, m2 equal to 20 grams, m3 equal to 40 grams. System of the first case, for system of 4 particles with masses m1 equal to 10 grams, m2 equal to 20 grams, m3 equal to 40 grams, and m4 equal to 80 grams. Will be given by m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 by m1 plus m4 x4 by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4. So in the first case, center of mass is at 0, 0, 0. That means x coordinate center of mass is 0. m1 is 10 grams, m2 is 20 grams, m3 is 40 grams, and m4 is 80 grams. You are not given the coordinates of the first 4 particles, and you are not even asked to find the coordinates of the first 4 particles. So you can carry this denominator to the other side. So from this you get 10x1 plus 20x2 plus 40x3 plus 80x4 equal to 0. Similar equations you get for y and z coordinates also. Similarly, 10y1 plus 20y2 plus 40y3 plus 80y4 is 0 because in the first case y coordinate center of mass is also 0. The same way you get similar equation for z coordinates also because in the first case z coordinate center of mass is also 0. That means 10z1 plus 20z2 plus 40z3 plus 80z4 will be 0. In the second case, for system of 5 particles, the fifth particle has mass 100 gram. Let us suppose x5 is x coordinate fifth particle. So for a system of 5 particles here, let xcm dash denote x coordinate center of mass second case. You can write it as m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 plus m4 x4 plus m5 x5 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4 plus m5. The second case center of mass is at the -1 comma -1 comma -1. That means x coordinate center of mass second case is -1. m1 is 10 grams here, m2 is 20 grams, m3 is 40 grams, m4 is 80 grams, fifth particle of mass 100 grams. So m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4 plus m5 becomes 10 plus 20 plus 40 plus 80 plus 100. Now on the right hand side, 10x1 plus 20x2 plus 40x3 plus 80x4 can substitute as equal to 0 because the positions of first 4 particles are not changed. The coordinates of first 4 particles are same. So you can substitute here 10x1 plus 20x2 plus 40x3 plus 80x4 equal to 0 here on the right side in your numerator. So therefore you get -1 equal to 0 plus 100 into x pi divided by, you can simplify the denominator here, (250). So you get x pi equal to -250 by 100 or minus 2.5 or minus 5 by 2. Similarly, you get y coordinate for fifth particle also similarly same way -5 by 2 or minus 2.5. And z coordinate for fifth particle also will get -5 by 2 or minus 2.5 because in second case y coordinate of center of mass is -1 and z coordinate of center of mass are -1. Therefore, similar equations will be obtained even for y and z coordinates. So therefore, y coordinate for fifth particle will also be -5 by 2 and z coordinate for fifth particle will also be -5 by 2. In case you need more time to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and take your time. So for question number 2, which I have just now discussed, third option is answer. That is -2.5 comma -2.5 comma -2.5. Next, see the question number 3. Masses each 1 kg are placed at the vertices of an isosceles triangle ABC, in which AC equal to BC equal 13 centimeter and AB equal 10 centimeter. The distance of center of mass of system from the vertex C is. So you can draw a rough diagram first here. So in the question number 3, ABC is isosceles triangle. Length AC is given to be 13 centimeter, length BC is given to 13 centimeter. The three masses are equal, each equal 1 kg. They are placed at the vertex of isosceles triangle. Length of side AB 10 centimeter. Length of side AC 13 centimeter, BC 13 centimeter. Let N be the midpoint of side AB. Because ABC is isosceles triangle, the vertex C lies on the perpendicular bisector of the side AB. So N is the midpoint of side AB, or you can say N is the foot of the perpendicular dropped from C on the side AB. So distance from A to N will be half of the distance from A to B. That is 5 centimeters. Half of 10 centimeters. So for convenience, we are asked to find distance of the center of mass of these three masses from the vertex C. So for convenience, I choose the position of the first mass at A as the origin of the coordinate system. The line joining the first two masses, I take it as x-axis. The line perpendicular to the side AB in the plane of the triangle, I take it as y-axis. So for the first mass, all the three masses are equal here. Each mass equal to 1 kg. The first mass is at the origin, therefore x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is 0 for the first mass. Second mass lies on x-axis, a distance 10 centimeters from origin. So x coordinate for second mass is 10 centimeters, y coordinate for second mass is 0. So x coordinate for third mass at C is equal to distance from A to N, that is half of the length of side AB. That is half of 10 centimeters or 5 centimeters. Y coordinate for third mass equal to height of the triangle, that is distance between C and N. Can apply Pythagoras theorem for right angle triangle ACN to find the distance between C and N. From Pythagoras theorem, AC square equal to distance square of the side AN square plus CN square. Here AC equal to 13 centimeter, AN equal to 5 centimeter, CN you have to find. Those who want to copy solution, they can start writing this, copying the solution part. So if you simplify that, you get CN is equal to 12 centimeter. So y coordinate for third mass will be equal to distance CN, that is 12 centimeter. So x coordinate center of mass system of the 3-point masses given by M1 x1, M2 x2, M3 x3. Here M1 is 1 kg, M2 is 1 kg, M3 is 1 kg. Units of mass get cancelled. So x coordinate center of mass we get, as I discussed already in the past, that if all the three particles of system of three particles have same mass, three particles do not lie at collinear points, then the center mass system of three particles which lie at the three vertices will be at the centroid of the triangle if the three masses are equal. So x1 at the center of mass we can get x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3. Here x1 is 0, x2 is 10 centimeters, x3 is 5 centimeters. So you get x squared at a center of mass 5 centimeters. Similarly, y coordinate center of mass can be written as m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. The mass of three particles are equal, therefore y coordinate center of mass will be the arithmetic mean. All the particle system has same mass, then y coordinate center of mass will be arithmetic mean of the y coordinates of individual particles. Come on, now substitute y1 equal to 0 here, y2 is also 0. And y3 is equal to 12 centimeter. So you get y coordinate of the center of mass as 4 centimeter. So you can copy down the solution of the problem if you want to copy down the solution of the problem. In case you need more time to copy the solution, you can take a pause and take your time. So you are asked to find distance of center of mass system of the three particles from the third vertex C. Again, look at the previous diagram. The center of mass lies on center at the centroid here. You have to find this distance. So y coordinate center of mass will be equal to this distance. We got y coordinate center of mass equal to how much we got? This is what you are asked. This is y3. In the same figure which you copied earlier, you can draw these distances. You have already calculated the y coordinate of the center of mass. How much you got? Y coordinate of center of mass, you got 4 centimeters. Y coordinate for third particle, you got 12 centimeters. So you are asked to find the distance of third vertex from center of mass. That means this distance of third vertex from center of mass will be y3 minus y coordinate center of mass. That will be 12 minus 4 centimeter. Or 8 centimeter. So answer is 8 centimeter. That means it's not necessary to find the x coordinate here, but only y coordinate of center of mass is required to answer the question. So anyhow, the answer for the question is 8 centimeter. That is third option. In case you need time to copy this, you can take a pause. Look at the question number 4 here. One and a thin uniform rod of length L and mass m1 is riveted to center of uniform circular disc of radius r and mass m2, so that both are coplanar. So you can draw a rough diagram. So here m1, the mass of the rod, the center of mass of the rod can be assumed to be at the geometric center of the rod. That is at a distance L by 2 from each end. The center of mass of the disc can be assumed to be at geometric center of the disc. So you are asked to find distance center of mass of combination from center of the disc. Therefore, I choose the center of the disc as the origin, because you are asked to find distance of center of mass system from center of the disc. I choose the line joining C1 and C2 as x-axis. C1 is center of mass of the rod, which has mass m1. C2 center of mass of the disc, which has mass m2. So here, center of mass system of two mass m1 and m2 lies in between the two masses on the line joining the C1 and C2. In between C1 and C2 on x-axis. So x coordinate for the first mass m1 we can take L by 2. X coordinate for second mass we take it as 0. So x coordinate of center of mass is given by m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. That is m1 into L by 2 plus x2 is 0. Therefore, second term in the numerator on the right side becomes 0 by m1 plus m2. So that will be the answer. So in case you need more time to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 4, second option is the answer. See the question number 5. Particles of masses m, 2m, 3m up to nm grams are placed on the same line. Distances L, 2L, 3L up to NL centimeters from fixed point. The distance center of mass of the particle from fixed point in centimeters. So we choose the line joining all the particles as x-axis and the fixed point as origin from which you are given the distances of various particles. So as I discussed in the past, the center of one of special cases, center of mass system of collinear particles lies on the same line on which the particles lie upon. So if you if you consider the line joining the n particles as x-axis, center of mass system of n particles also lies on x-axis. So x coordinate center of mass system of n particles is given by m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 and so on up to mnth particle. mn xn divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3 etc. up to mn. Here m1 equal to small m grams, x1 equal to L centimeter, m2 equal to 2m grams and x2 is 12 centimeters, m3 equal to 3m grams and x3 is 3L centimeters, so on. mn equal to nm grams and xn equal to n into L in centimeters. So units of mass get cancelled here. m1 plus m2 will be 2m, m3 is 3m, except mn equal to nm. So you can take common factors in the numerator. You can take m into L common outside. You get 1 plus or 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square etc. up to n square divided by m into, you can take m common denominator, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus etc. up to n. So m gets cancelled both numerator and denominator. This will be in centimeters. So L into sigma, sum of the squares of the first 10 natural numbers divided by sum of the first 10 natural numbers. So you must be knowing the two results in the school level mathematics. Sum of the first 10 natural numbers, sigma n we write, is given by n into n plus 1 by 2. And sum of the squares of the first 10 natural numbers, sigma n square, is given by n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. Come on, substitute these values and complete the calculation part yourself. Substitute these values and complete the calculation part yourself. Come on, substitute these values and complete the calculation part yourself. In case you need more time to complete the calculation, you can take a pause and take your time. So for the question number 5, which I have just now discussed, first option will be the answer. Next, look at the question number 6 here. A uniform rod of length 1 meter is bent at its midpoint to make 90 degrees angle. The distance of center of mass from center of the rod is. So here, I find the answer in terms of length of the rod. I denote length of the rod by L, which is given to 1 meter or 100 centimeters. It is a uniform rod, therefore you may assume that the two parts of the rod will have same mass. Can consider the rod to be equivalent to two masses, that is one part of the rod. Length of the rod is L, so length of each part of the rod is L by 2. It is bent into right angle at the midpoint. We choose the midpoint of the rod as origin because you are asked to find distance of center of mass from center of the rod. We choose the center of the rod as origin. We choose the x-axis along the one part of the rod, half the length of the rod, y-axis along the other part of the rod. The center of mass of the first part of the rod lies at geometric center of the first part. Denoted by C1. Mass is M1. Center of mass of the second part of the rod will lie at geometric center of the second part of the rod. That will be at a distance equal to half of L by 2 will be L by 4. Similarly, this will be also L by 4. The two parts of the rod will have same mass. So x coordinate for first part, center of mass of first part of the rod is L by 4. Y coordinate is 0. X coordinate for center of mass of second part of the rod is 0 because it lies on y axis. Y coordinate equal to L by 4. Both the parts have same mass. So x coordinate of center of mass given by m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. If both the masses of m1 and m2 are equal, you can write it as x1 plus x2 by 2. If m1 and m2 are equal, then you can write xcm equal to x1 plus x2 by 2. Here x1 is L by 4, x2 is 0. Therefore, x squared as center of mass will be L by 8. Similarly, you get y coordinate as center of mass. You can write m1 y1 plus m2 y2 by m1 plus m2. If mass of m1 and m2 are equal, you can write y coordinate as center of mass is equal to y1 plus y2 by 2. Here y1 is 0, y2 is L by 4. So y coordinate center of mass also get L by 8. So let's see denote center of mass of system, that means of the rod. It lies at the midpoint of C1 and C2 because both the parts have same mass. With coordinates denoted by xcm comma ycm. So distance of center of mass of the rod from the origin. So in general, distance of a point in the xy plane Distance of a point in xy plane from the origin O, you can write root of x square plus y square. So distance of center of mass from origin O, you can write under root of xcm square plus ycm square. Come on. Substitute xcm equal L by 8 and ycm also equal L by 8. Come on. Substitute and simplify it to yourself. Come on, substitute and simplify it. You can try to simplify it to yourself. In case you need more time to complete the calculation, you can take a pause and take your more time. This you get L by 8 into root 2. So you can write L equal to 1 meter or 100 centimeter. And root 2 equal to 1.414 by 8. Or in terms of L, you can also write as L by 4 root 2. Come on, copy down the calculation, complete the calculation. In case you need more time to complete the calculation, you can take a pause and take your time. So for question number 6, you get third option as the answer. Next, I'm going to discuss the question number 7 here. See the question number 7. The mass of the moon is about 1 by n times the mass of the earth. And distance of center of the moon to center of the earth is about k times the radius of the earth. Distance of center of mass of the earth moon system from center of the earth is equal to dash times the radius of the earth. So you're asked to find distance of center of mass of system from center of the earth. Therefore, I choose the position of center of the earth as the origin. Because you're asked distance of center of mass of system from center of earth. So here I choose the center of the earth as origin. C1 is the center of the earth and C2 is the center of mass of the moon here. M1 is the mass of the earth, M2 is the mass of the moon. Kepler is used to denote the radius of the earth. It is given that distance between center of the earth and center of the moon is n times the radius of the earth. And mass of the moon is 1 by n times the mass of the earth. That means M2 is equal to 1 by n times M1. Distance between center of the earth and center of the moon is not n times. I'm sorry, it's not m times, it's k times the radius of the earth. So distance between C1 and C2 is k into r. M2 is 1 by n times M1. Distance between C1 and C2 is k into r. So I choose the position of center of mass of the earth as origin. So center of mass system of two mass M1 M2 lies in between C1 and C2. That means in between the centers of masses of M1 and M2 on the line joining C1 and C2. So therefore center of mass also lies on x-axis. So here x1 is 0, x2 you can take k to r. So x coordinate center of mass gives you distance center of mass from the origin, that is from center of earth. That is m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. Here x1 is 0, m2 equal to 1 by n times m1, x2 equal to k into r by m1 plus m2 you can write 1 by n times m1. Come on, copy down and you can complete the calculation part. So m1 by n gets cancelled. So in case you need more time to complete copying, you can take a pause. So we have completed question number 7. For question number 7 here, First part is the answer. First option. See the next question number 8 here. The distance between centers of carbon and oxygen atoms in the carbon monoxide gas molecule is 1.12 in 10 power minus 12 minus 10 meters. The center of mass of the molecule center of the carbon atom. Let C1 be the center of the mass of the carbon atom. C2 be the center of mass of the oxygen atom. Let M1 be the mass of the carbon atom, M2 be the mass of the oxygen atom. Choose the position of center of mass of the carbon atom as origin, because you are asked to find distance center of mass the molecule from center of the carbon atom. So the line joining the centers of mass of carbon and oxygen atom, we take it as x-axis. The separation between the two masses are denoted by r, which is given to be 1.12 into 10 power minus 10 meters. And 10 power minus 10 meters, you can write it as 1 angstrom. The ratio of the masses of carbon and oxygen atoms is same as the ratio of their mass numbers. Nearly, I mean approximately, can be taken as equal ratio of their mass numbers. That is 12 by 16 or 3 by 4. So you can take for calculation, convenience of calculation, M1 equal 3 units and M2 equal 4 units. Center of mass system of two mass M1 and M2 lies on the same line joining the centers C1 and C2 of M1 and M2. That means C lies somewhere in between C1 and C2, nearer to the smaller mass, that is nearer to the carbon atom. Let C be the center of mass of the molecule. XCM is the distance of center of mass of the molecule from origin. So X1 is 0 here, X2 equal to R. So X square at a center of mass is given by M1x1 plus M2x2 by M1 plus M2. You can take M1 equal to 3 units for convenience of calculation, M2 equal to 4 units, because units of mass get cancelled in both numerator and denominator. X1 is 0 here. So M2 equal to 4 units. X2 equal to R. M1 plus M2 can write 3 plus 4 units. So X square center of mass, you get 4 by 7 times R. This R is given to 1.12 angstrom. You can simplify that. In case you need more time to copy this, you can take a pause and take your time. So for question number 8, second option is the answer. Next, look at the question number 9. The question number 9 is similar to one of the problems I have discussed earlier. 3 particle masses 2, 4 and 6 gram have the center of mass at the point 2, 2, 2. What must be position of fourth particle of mass 8 grams? So the position of center of mass new system is at 0, 0. So in the first case, for system of the three particles, in the first case, the X square and center of mass can be written as M1x1 plus M2x2 plus M3x3 by M1 plus M2 plus M3. X coordinate of center of mass, the first case is at 2. M1 is 2 grams here. M2 is 4 grams. M3 is 6 grams. So M1 plus M2 will be 2 plus 4 plus 6 grams. Units of mass get cancelled. So you get so 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 6x3 equal to 24. Similar equations you get for y and z coordinates. That means 2y1 plus 4y2 plus 6y3 will also be 24 because y coordinate of center of mass in first case is also 2. Similarly, you get similar equation for z coordinates also. 2z1 plus 4z2 plus 6z3 also 24 because z coordinate center of mass also 2. So second case for system of 4 particles. The x coordinate center of mass are denoted by xcm dash called m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 plus m4 x4 by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4. Second case center of mass is at the origin 0, 0, 0. So x coordinate center of mass second case is 0. M1 is 2 grams here, M2 is 4 grams, M3 is 6 grams, M4 is for the mass of the fourth particle is 8 grams. So you get 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 6x3 plus 8x4 equal to 0. Now I can substitute here 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 6x3 equal to, from this equation, 24. Therefore 24 plus 8x4 equal to 0. So from this you get x4 equal to minus 3. Similarly you get y coordinate fourth particle is also minus 3, z coordinate fourth particle is also minus 3. So for question number 9, first option is the answer. See the question number 10. 4 identical spheres each of radius r and equal mass 1 kg are placed on the horizontal surface touching each other so that their centers are located. The vector square of side to r. What is the distance of the center of mass from center of either sphere? So in the 10th question, all the 4 spheres are identical having same mass. Let C1, C2, C3, C4 denote the positions of centers of the 4 identical spheres which lie at the 4 corners of a square on a horizontal plane. Length of each side of square is 2r because all the mass are identical in all respects and each mass has same radius, each sphere has same radius. So position of center of mass coincides with the geometric center of the square. So center of mass system lies at geometric center of the square here. So distance of center of the square from each corner of the square will be half of the length of the diagonal. So length of the diagonal of square is root 2 times length of each side of the square. Length of each side usually denoted by a. So distance of each corner of square from center of the square will be equal to half of the length of the diagonal. So length of the diagonal is a root 2 by 2. That will be a by root 2. In here a is the length of each side of square, that is 2r. So you get r into root 2 as the answer. You can also do the problem by an alternate method. You can choose the position of center of one of the spheres as the origin and you can take find x and y coordinates. So I discuss the alternate method for same question now. We can choose one of the C1 is center of one of spheres, we can take it as origin. C2 is center of another second sphere, C3 is center of another third sphere, C4 center of fourth sphere. Distance between centers of any two adjacent spheres is 2r. C is center of mass of system of the four spheres. Change x-axis along the one of sides of square and y-axis along the adjacent side of square. So here x coordinate for the C first mass you can take it as 0, y1 is 0. For second mass x coordinate is 2r, y coordinate is 0 because it lies on x-axis. For third mass x coordinate is equal to r, y coordinate is also 2r. For the fourth mass x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is 2r. If you consider a system of equal point mass, so each sphere can be treated like a point mass placed at its center. So if all the four masses are equal, x coordinate center of mass you can write. I mean if m1 equal to m2 equal to m3 equal to m4, then x coordinate center of mass will be arithmetic mean of x coordinates of the four masses, as I discussed in one of special cases in the past. Here x1 is 0, y1 is 0, x3 is 2r, x1 is 0, x2 is 2r. x1 is 0, x2 is 2r here. x4 is 0. x1 is 0, x2 is 2r, x3 is also 2r. And x4 is 0 by 4. So you get x coordinate center of mass as r. Similarly, you get y coordinate center of mass equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 4. That also comes out to be same. So distance of center of mass from the origin will be root of xcm square plus ycm square. You can arrive at same answer. So I have completed discussion of first 10 questions in the assignment. I will continue the discussion of the questions starting from 11th onwards in my next class.